I'm talking about the concepts of rhetoric within communication and the different ways they can be used. Audience analysis, the assessment and evaluation of listeners. Obviously, when you go into speaking, you would like to know the condition of your audience and what appeals to them. You can base your speech or whatever you're going to display based on what you find about your audience. And through that, you can also implement the use of ethos, logos, and pathos. The ethos, obviously, you would come out and you would give your credentials, the reason why you are speaking on what you're speaking, why you are a good choice to speak on a certain subject or a certain matter. And then from there, you would maybe do some sort of emotional appeal when through pathos you would somehow say something that would touch deep into the feelings of your audience members, and it's like an emotional grab, and then that'll kind of draw them in, and you might have a lot less divided attention when you do that. And then once you have them emotionally, you can implement factual statistics or logical information or something some sort of concrete ground that you can base your speech on, and then with that you can persuade, inform, sway to a certain side or another. And with these three concepts, egos, logos, and pathos, that you form speech entirely on those three things. Say, for example, a certain political issue, maybe gay marriage or something, a guy would come out, maybe a high-ranking official, political official, he would come out and he would state his credentials to tell you why he is a good suitor to deliver a speech based on that subject. And then he would come out with some sort of logical information or something. He would try to come up with a statistic, or it might not be logical, but he would probably do his best to dig up something along those lines, where he could use some sort of factual information, maybe just like a misleading statistic or just something along those lines. But then he can use a kind of a religious angle, and a lot of people are religious, and with that topic specifically in religious backgrounds, they kind of conflict, and many people who are Christians do not agree with that whatsoever. So he can use a strong sense of emotional matter in that within that topic. And as far as advice would go, I would say that you would have to know what your audience is about before going into a speech. You can obviously take advantage of what they say, but you can obviously take advantage of an audience by knowing their personality, or just maybe have a little background information on them. But I would say you just don't try to mislead them. Don't kind of be real biased when you're speaking to a group. Just kind of leave things out in the open. Just deliver them information, deliver them maybe a few facts, but nothing too overwhelming, and allow them to ultimately decide on whatever you're speaking. Don't try to force your one personal idea onto them. Just give them kind of a wide, kind of a broad message, and maybe they can take what they learned from your speech, put it together, develop their own theory. I would say, just don't overwhelm the crowd. Just give them what is necessary and allow them to do some critical thinking.